I am also at the age where some of my gay male friends are getting botulism injected into their face. And let me tell you, it's not natural looking up close nor afar. Please stop.
Look
at this. I look great.
Look, do whatever you want to your face, but don't do that.
I am on record saying I won't judge you for doing that, but I'm also on record as saying I will judge you for doing that. Aha, I tricked you with the first version of me.
Welcome to Your Inner Childhood Idiot. This is the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and see if they're any good to begin with. My name is DJ.
And I'm Damon. That hand motion, I know this is a podcast, but that hand motion you did may have been the straightest thing I've ever seen you do.
What did I just
I don't know. There was something like weird, like you were, and then you did the finger guns, and it was guns. Like you look like a kid in like a Disney afternoon movie who like won $1 million in the lottery, and now he's just doing whatever he wants.
We got to win the soccer kicking competition. It's exactly $50, which is what we need to save the old. I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Disney movies.
The old barn. I don't know. We just got to win it, guys. They never finished writing this thing.
Okay. It's my turn to give you a movie.
I love this game.
This is a movie from the 80s. It is a massively popular movie. It was, you've almost definitely seen it. I don't know for sure that you specifically have seen it, but I'd be really surprised if you haven't.
I know. I usually keep that spreadsheet when I tell you every movie I've ever seen, and I haven't been updating it.
I'm pretty up to date on what you've seen and haven't seen, like more than maybe a stranger on the street.
Okay. A big movie from the 80s.
I'll give you a zone. We're in the more in the teen zone. Okay.
Is this what's his name with the thing? In your eyes.
No.
No?
It's not.
Okay.
No, not less romantic.
Oh.
A little more hijinksy.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You don't like that?
I hate hijinks. No hijinks, no farce. That's my rule.
I'll say it. If you don't like straight guy hand motions, you might not like this movie. I don't remember if there's
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
No. That's a little less.
They are all presumably straight.
Yeah. Our main character...
Although methinks the lady doth protest too much. Michelangelo? If you know what I mean.
Our main character is a charismatic guy, charismatic teen.
Okay.
He may be... I don't know. I don't know who cares. Maybe the devil. Not him.
Oh, God, you devil with George Burns?
No. I was just saying he's got a devil may care attitude, and I was trying to do it in a clever way.
I see what you mean. You didn't mean that the fallen angel Lucifer was involved in this film.
I didn't.
Comedy hijinksy Porky's 2.
Not quite so randy.
Okay. Because I
lead...
haven't seen any of the Porky's trilogy, so
I'll tell you, the third one really kind of wraps it up in a nice way and sends us all home happy.
Yeah. And that's when Porky becomes the king of Gondor as he was destined to be.
That's right. Yeah. We see the hand of Porky come up at the end and give a thumbs up.
And then Porky finally fixes that hole in the shower. Thanks, Porky.
This is a movie about the magic of truancy, if that helps.
Why am I drawing a complete... It's like I've never seen a film before.
Yeah. I mean...
Like I'm drawing a complete... Teenagers, hijinks, the magic of truancy. So they're late to an event, presumably.
No, truancy is skipping school.
Baby's Day Out.
Very, very similar in title.
Wait, is this one of those like... oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Truant, they'll all cry.
Say it.
I can't believe we've not done it before. I've definitely seen this movie.
I figured.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes. My next clue was
prequel to Baby's Day Out. It's actually his baby.
My next clue was going to be our main character was named after a famous wheel. So I think we would have gotten there. Ferris Bueller's Day Out.
I don't like you anymore.
Starring Matthew Broderick and
Mia.
And
what's her name?
The lady.
Mia Sarah.
Yes. And
that guy who was also in Speed and also in Succession.
Jennifer Grey.
Exactly who I was talking about.
She's not a serious person.
And unfortunately, child pornographer Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, God bless it. Damn it.
Oh, it's fun to laugh.
Famously has him in it, too. I really...
That became... me and my friend Janelle, we used to... I can't remember what it was. I think I was doing a rich guy voice, and she's like, you just sound like Cam doing, answering the phone for Ferris. Rooney! Also has a charming performance from Edie McClurg.
Yeah.
And this is before her career-making turn as Hampton's mother in Tiny Toon Adventures.
She might, be in the running for, a nominee.
A COH?
Yeah, for
the O'Harrys, as we call them.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Cam might also be up for it. Alan Ruck might be up for it. I do
very much relate to Cam because I am a rule follower.
Yes.
For fear of eternal judgment. Although I don't have as strict battle axe parent as he does.
I don't either. What did they do to us? What sort of mind games did our parents play on? Like, I don't think either of our parents were bad parents or like especially strict. No. And we're both
the toughest I ever got was mom going, I don't want you watching that. And I'd be like, okay. And then continue watching the thing.
Just want you to really
and
think
that's why I'm the world's biggest Married with Children fan.
Oh, he's put his hand down his pants. He pooped.
Woo! He flushed the toilet. I do like this movie a lot. Yeah, I do relate this to Cam. That's what I was saying. I feel like, though, he is like a toned down... I mean, we can talk about this when we actually watch the movie. He feels like a toned down version of who's the guy I did not care for in Breakfast Club. Judd Apatow. Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson, yeah.
He's that. He's like, my home life sucks. Although he is like a rich kid with like a douchebag dad.
Yeah. It does seem like he has being a rich kid aside, he seems like he has it pretty rough with his dad as a relationship.
And he suffers from mental health issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he has a friend who's constantly getting him into hijinks, which I staunchly am against hijinks.
And I'm not sure, we didn't know this in 1986, but maybe that's, hey, cheer up is maybe not the best thing to tell your severely depressed friend.
I know what'll cheer you up. Truancy.
Skipping school and wrecking your dad's car.
Forever changing your relationship with your father. Possibly for the worse.
This was not like a big movie for me, but I definitely saw it and I definitely enjoyed it and thought Ferris Bueller was charming. I just this was, I think maybe because it was a little bit old for us, because it would have been 4 when it came out. And
yeah, it would be like an older brother movie that got passed on to you. I'm trying to think now, I feel like as I got into my teenage years and would have loathed Ferris for his easygoing style of living where he never seemed to suffer any consequences whatsoever.
The devil is the only one who may care.
And there's not even a guarantee that the devil will care.
Yeah.
He's not even sure he'll get around to it.
I might care eventually. May you care?
I wonder also as a curmudgeonly old man if I really will hate Ferris.
Yeah, I could see that not working in the same way. I think you can enjoy it without condoning it,
Well, I think it also helps that Jennifer Grey is there to sort of balance it out, because I think she did become a vessel for like my hatred of Ferris or / jealousy of Ferris, that he didn't care about the rules and never suffered any consequences for breaking them. The consequences I was so terrified of despite not knowing what they were. And I didn't want to find out.
Some vague, very bad consequence. Trust me on this, I assume.
Well, I'm excited to... Who directs this? Is this the man himself?
I should know this, but I don't. John Hughes. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Finally.
And it helped me be introduced to Donkashane by Wayne Newton and Shake It Up Baby by the Beatles.
Twist and Shout is the name of that.
That's what I prefer. Its original title, which is Shake It Up Baby.
Don't shake the baby.
That's why they had to change the name.
Too many people. We're going to watch Ferris Bueller Day Off. Watch along with us. We'll be back after this. After these messages.
We'll be right back.
Yuck.
And then she was like, you know what? I'm going to just put my whole body weight on it. Open the whole door, and it's wide open now. And now she walked right out. She's a fucking bitch.
Your cat we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's right. If only I had like a broom handle or an old cane I could use.
Yeah, an old-timey cane just to get that. Or, you know what you should do?
Myrtle, bring me my cane.
Who was the creepy newscaster? Had a little button on his desk? So he could
Matt Lauer.
So he could trap people in his office? You could get one of those.
That's a charming. And I love the idea that I would get it post Matt Lauer's downfall so that I can explain to someone.
Look.
Yeah, I just want a button on my desk.
Yeah.
Connects to the door, closes it on anyone who's entered.
Now, originally, maybe... Now, obviously, his behavior was indefensible, but maybe that's the original reason he got it.
Maybe his cat that he kept at NBC News was kept getting into his office. And he's like, I gotta keep Bessie out. And then
Bessie the
he was
cat.
like, I can also use this for sex crimes. Let me close my door.
Okay. Quick, while Damon's gone, I'm going to do a little commercial.
Yeah. No one likes
Patreon.com/Your is an idiot is our patron. He doesn't know about it. He thinks we just make money, that I'm independently wealthy, but actually we're getting money from you guys to run this podcast. So Patreon.com/Your is an idiot. Hey, Damon.
Hey, ready to do the commercial?
You know, let's just don't worry about it.
Okay, great.
Like I say, you know, it's just a fleeting fancy I had. I don't think we really need to do it.
The fleeting fancy that we did for 200 episodes plus? Fleet. This fancy was fleet.
Was fleet as hell.
Fleet as hell.
I told the fine people about it already. We can just move on.
It's probably I'm just dead weight.
What we just watched was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. John Hughes, 1986.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
Yeah. I wrote at the top of my notes for the first time in podcast herstory.
No,
I wrote the year at the top. Thank you.
Let me ask a question. Why is the first time that either of us have thought of this? Because why aren't we always writing the year down once we know it?
You know, there's a lot of schools of thought. I think the one that a lot of the academic community is sort of gathering behind is that we are dope.
Stupid. I'm going to tell you about this movie real quick.
Please, if you could, because I haven't watched it. I was just going to go off of your summation.
We've got a roguish young lad, a senior in high school, Ferris Bueller. He doesn't want to go to school. He plays hooky. He pretends to be sick. He tricks his parents. And he gets his actual friend, actually sick friend, Cameron, to hang out with them. He picks up his girlfriend from school after calling to pretend like he's her parents in a wacky scheme and tell them that her grandmother's dead. Picks her up. They have a day on the town. They do all kinds of Chicago, the most Chicago that Chicago has ever been. I do like that this movie seems to actually enjoy Chicago instead of being like, what a grimy cesspool this city that I live in is.
Go to hell, my town.
Yeah. They go to a fancy restaurant and they...
Chez Louise or Chez Quiz, depending on how I read it.
I think it's Shakey's. And they go to a baseball game. They go to a Cubs game. They go to the art museum. They go to
the
a
Art
parade.
Institute of Chicago.
They steal Cameron's dad's fancy Ferrari.
They do that first, just so you know. They do that first to get.
I don't think that's important, Damon. I don't think that's important enough to interrupt me.
It probably won't even come up.
Flowing right now. You're just interrupting me.
You are. It's like watching a rapper work. You're freestyling this movie.
No, okay. Give me a word to work into the recap.
I can't sign off on this, DJ. Okay. I can't be on camera with you while you're doing this.
You know who doesn't sign off on this? Principal Ed Rooney. I worked it in.
Flawless.
He's after Ferris the whole day. He ends up breaking and entering into their home, but they've got a Rottweiler. Uh-oh. So he's killed. Rottweiler. He's immediately killed, which is fine because it's Jeffrey Jones. And then, meanwhile, his sister, Jeannie, knows what Ferris is up to. So she is upset, ends up in the police station because she encounters Rooney when he breaks into the house, kicks him 3 pointed times in the face, but reports it to police.
Something she learned from Johnny Castle, I imagine.
Yes.
Just, bam, bam, bam.
Anyway, at the end of the day, they are trying to roll back the miles on Cameron's dad's Ferrari, and Cameron, while he's intentionally damaging the car, accidentally really damages it by kicking it off its pedestal and kills the car. And he's going to face his dad. We get some...
And his dad's a good guy?
His dad, not a good guy.
Unseen.
And while Ferris's parents do seem nice to him, he does need to get back to continue the ruse. So he rushes home, racing Jeannie in her car and his dad in her car. And he gets in the nick of time to pretend like he's still sick. Parents none the wiser. Rooney, forever maimed by the dog, has to take the school bus home. And Cameron is probably held back a year by his parents and is probably in prison. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, 1986.
QED, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Charming. I don't know where to start. I will start where I want to start, which is...
Great. It's a very fine place to start.
Watching this movie with Matthew Broderick, who is over 18.
He is very important for whatever you're about to say.
Yes, absolutely. I was positively feral. He is beyond adorable. And this is something I've noticed in my queer dotage, that I've become like a serial killer when it comes to youth, in that it's the skin. He has pearlescent skin. I didn't realize how important skin is, except when I'm like near a young person and I'm like, please step away from me. I can't stand the comparison.
That's why we're
like
all
a
doing
Nazi at the end of an Indiana Jones movie. You want to do the Brazil, the Terry Gilliam's Brazil?
That's why we're doing the Botox and the stretchies and the thingies, because we want that youthful look. Does this look youthful?
At this.
Can't see it. Can't see a single.
Do you remember
wrinkle.
that episode of 30 Rock where Jenna gets something with shark DNA injected into her face? I am also at the age where some of my gay male friends are getting botulism injected into their face, and let me tell you, it's not natural looking up close nor afar. Please stop.
Look
at this.
I think
look at this. I think
we're on record to say, look, do whatever you want to your face, but don't do that. On the same token,
record saying I won't judge you for doing that, but I'm also on record as saying I will judge you for doing that. Aha, I tricked you with the first version of me. I do want to continue talking about Matthew Broderick.
I have a magic skill in that I'm a straight white guy, and so I can get away with just sort of aging, but I'm about the only
You are allowed to do it.
Yeah.
You can get those little little white temples.
Yeah. And people
just go to the aging store and order those in. Yeah.
They don't call you old, they call you distinguished until you're too old, and then you're like, no, you're old.
Get out of here, you crown.
Well, do you want to, in addition to discussing his countenance, do you want to discuss the character of
I do, but I
Ferris?
Still want to continue talking about his countenance.
Okay,
great. He's got those beautiful black eyes, like a doll's eyes. And he's a little short, he's adorably short.
Yeah.
And there's a few scenes of him lounging around in naught but a bathing suit. Very adorable. But yeah, he is. I will say one of the successes of this movie is that I think Ferris Bueller, the character, could have easily tilted into twerpdom.
Yes.
And really just made you want to punch his fucking face in.
Yeah.
And I think the combination of the writing and Broderick's performance really make him charismatic and charming. I think that's the writing and his performance, but also I think especially the relationship with Cam, I think grounds Ferris and makes him seem like he's a really good guy. Because he does. Here's his friend who is not as adept socially as he is, and probably has some mental illness, hypochondria, maybe some depression, and he takes him out. Like this whole day is essentially like secretly for Cam.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're absolutely right that it could easily have felt like Ferris being a bully, Ferris manipulating Cameron and everyone in this movie. And he is, but also he's doing it because he actually knows that Cameron will enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's like the movie is right. He's right in the movie that Cameron needs this day, and he ends up saying it's the best day of my life. And he says it, of course, before he has to face his dad. But
yeah. I mean, I don't think I picked up on this as a kid, but Cam's father is physically abusive as well. Is that the vibe you got?
I don't know if it's explicit, but it certainly feels like he's very
emotionally and phically abusive and distant.
Yeah,
withholding all the big ones, all the faves.
It's unhealthy, to say the least.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
very heartbreaking. Yeah. And his mother hates. I mean, everyone. It seems like his mother is alluded to briefly, I think once or twice, and it seems like she is out of town often to get away from.
Kind of, unplugged from the whole situation and kind of like checked out of the whole thing and avoiding it. You need to check on your cat?
Nope. She came in again, pushed the door wide open because I didn't want to close it because I knew she would just paw at it because she hates closed doors. It's an open door policy in this house. It's great. Go on. Cam, I really love Cam. I know I said go on and then immediately started talking, but I really love Cam. I really relate to Cam. You might be surprised to find out that I really relate, not because my parents are abusive entirely, but Cam is tightly wound, maybe a little bit of a hypochondriac. I was just telling a friend at work today that sometimes when my foot falls asleep, the little voice in my head goes,
This is it.
This is the big one. I'm like Red Fox. I'm like, here I come.
Well, Martha, I'm coming. Cam is very enjoyable. Alan Ruck is incredible in this. He's so good. I think he might be, because I cannot give an MVP nomination to Jeffrey Jones in good conscience. I'm going to have to give it to Cameron. I really enjoy when he gets to let loose, when he gets to do little voices, when he's pretending to be Sloane's father.
The fucking Rooney voice. I think I said this in the interview or in the interview in the introduction, but that was
when I interviewed you in the beginning of the episode.
I think that was a joke in college that I think I had a rich man voice, and my friend Janelle was like, "That's Cam doing Mr. Peterson." Rooney, what the hell are you doing?
What the hell are you doing? And that whole sequence is great. Also a kind of telling view into their friendship too, because they're kind of goofing and then he takes it too far and then he hits him and then Ferris hits Cameron and then slaps the phone out of his hand. It's very funny physical comedy because both sides are kind of scrambling in the moment and it's very good. And then they have this little apology. He's like kind of mad. He's like, "You hit me." He's like, "I didn't hit you. I lightly tapped you." And then he said, "You hit me. I'm sorry."
And also, I mean, I think Cam made a good point where he's like, I did this one thing and you got angry, and then I did the other and you got angry. I didn't know what to do. Don't involve me in your schemes, which is exactly what I would respond with. You brought it up, but Rooney and his secretary, who I don't think ever gets a name.
Grace.
She's just... Oh, Grace! Yes, you're absolutely right.
She very much gets a loud name.
Sorry, I don't know why I didn't pick up on that. But she's moaning. She's like, she's supposed to be pretending to be Rooney, and she's just going, oh. She doesn't know what to do. Oh, charming as fuck.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, we'll get to her in a second. But continuing with Cameron, when he gets to, there's a couple times where he's just really enjoying himself. And my other thing, one that I'm thinking of is when he's at the baseball game. Swing batter. He can it. So wing batter.
I I was charmed by them at the baseball game. I will say that is the point where I started wondering how long a day is in Chicago.
It's like a reverse video game day.
Days there?
Yeah. He also, well, I want to talk about this scene more in description. Well, we can just talk about it now. But when the little mini art piece when they're at the art museum, like when they go to the art museum, the short film of them at the art museum is its own art piece. And I think there was a quote from John Hughes that he was like, "This is just this little self-indulgent thing that I wanted to do."
Yeah, I read that he was debating. I think he was debating cutting it entirely, and then because it didn't test well when they were doing it to focus groups, and then I think he re-edited it and it started working. I think they had a different piece of music and they changed it to an instrumental version of that Smith song. But I will say, watching it this time, did I tear up? I did. Do I know why? I don't.
I love it. It's just like, there's something about it. The combination of the music, it's a beautiful version of that beautiful song. I think it's a great song, Please, 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 by the Smiths.
It's,
and it's the Dream Academy.
Theme song of melancholy queers.
Yeah. And it's, I guess. I said, yeah.
Girl, I know.
They're always texting me. This is my song, and I'm so kind of sad.
I'm sad, and I hate Muslims. Is the other thing that that's a Morrissey reference.
Yeah,
not
that's
me.
Morrissey.
I love him.
But and then that combined with the shots of Cameron going back and forth with the pointillism with the Saturday in the park and the
looking specifically at the girl holding hands with her mother.
Yeah. I didn't even catch that. Wow.
Yeah, it's a little girl holding hands with her mother, and she's facing, don't say camera, but she's facing the camera in the painting. And it zooms in, like getting closer to Cam and getting close to her. And it's what's his name? Surratt's, what is it? Sunday Afternoon in the Park?
Yeah.
The famous Surratt painting. And it zooms in until you can barely recognize what you're looking at because it's all little dots of color.
Pointillism.
But yeah, it's a girl holding hands with her mother.
It's fine.
He's doing great.
But they also get a few shots before that where they're like posing like the statue and like in a line, and
when they're in the line with the kids, charming as hell.
Yeah, they're like there's a class going through holding hands, and they're at the end of the line. That's why is that whole thing its own delightful movie? It's just fun. They're just having fun. It's a good day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cameron really gets, and then we get sort of Cameron's really the one with an arc in this, because he is kind of like refusing to go anywhere and is just going to be sick, and he's going to take another let my Cameron go. It's excellent. And with the music behind him, so good. And it's also very silly, and I love it. And then
I love that. I mean, I know we're going character by character, but I do love that all of their adventures are not particularly like racy. They're not like, I'm not being prudish, but I mean, it is wholesome that they go to the museum, they go to a Cubs game, and, they go to a fancy restaurant, and, then they go to the German, heritage parade that's happening apparently on a Tuesday afternoon in the middle of Chicago.
Don't worry about that.
It's very charming. It's not them like getting in sexy, racy, like Porky style misadventures. It's this very,
it's a chaste,
just enjoying truancy. Their life moment. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I feel like, no one really, they do have some serious moments. Kind of, they talk about what they're going to do as they get out of school, but they don't really, no one else really goes through anything, kind of an emotional journey in the same way.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller
starts getting away with it, ends getting away with it. Sloane, you want to talk about Sloane? This is Ferris's girlfriend. She is the least drawn character, I think, and she's beautiful
in the trio
as well.
She's a very pretty lady. She's played by Mia Sara. She's not bad. I mean, she is the least sort of clear character. She could have used some more fleshing out as like what are her particular likes and dislikes and anything. Yeah, but she just seems to be like she's Ferris's girlfriend and he loves her very much.
Yeah, she gets a couple of moments and she's very concerned. Like she seems to very much love Cameron as a friend as well. Mm-hmm. And it isn't weird that the three of them are hanging out like a it doesn't seem like he's a third wheel very much. There's a couple times when they're like making out and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Like that triggered me. I was like, come on, guys, he's right there.
Yeah. But, and you can see that obviously they're into each other, but also she's smart and funny and all that stuff. But you don't get enough of that. She's not like super fleshed out. She's just kind of like, Ferris. Oh, Ferris.
Right.
Her probably funniest moment is when she gets to mess with Ferris's dad is in the cab right next to them when they're stuck in traffic before the parade. And Ferris's dad looks over, sees Ferris for a second, and then does a double take. And they've switched places. And now Sloane's just there, which I guess they've never met. She's never met his dad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like they're pretty serious. They want to get married, whatever.
But what's serious in high school?
True.
2 months?
I buy
weeks?
that. I buy that they've never met. And then she's wearing sunglasses and she kind of messes with him, like gives him like kissy face. And he's kind of like, okay.
Now I hope they never meet.
Yeah. That's going to be weird later. That's probably all she gets.
Didn't I see you in a Chicago cab?
There's not really much else to say about Sloane, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They do say they're going to get married. I'm going to marry him someday, or he's going to marry me someday. At the end, it's like,
I love this detail. I mean, as an adult, one of John Hughes' strengths, I think, is, and I don't think I'm the first person to say this, but he's really good at writing teenagers in a non-condescending and non-dismissive way. I think a lot of times media about teenagers is written from the perspective of adult reminiscing about being a teenager. And so sometimes it's either sort of mocking teenagers or it's sort of projecting adult emotions onto teenagers. And I think John Hughes is really good at threading the needle where they still sort of act like teenagers, but their emotions are treated with validation. And so when Ferris is looking at the camera while Cam's catatonic and Sloane's helping him by gently rubbing his cheekbones, he says, like, I really mean it. I would marry that girl. And there was part of me that's like, I believe that he believes that he would marry that girl, but he is going to go to college and be charm, adorable, compact, pearlescent Matthew Broderick, and he is going to meet plenty of girls that are great. But I mean, it works. I mean, I think you listen to that line as a teenager and you listen to that line as a 44-year-old crone who has yet to have Botox, and you take it in differently, and but it still works. And I don't think it's being dismissive of Ferris, and it's not being condescending to him. It really is effective at capturing being a teenager, not remembering being a teenager, but being a teenager.
Yeah. When this titular day off.
Thank you. I was going to add titular. I know people are listening for someone to say titular.
It is their last hurrah. Well, she's not graduating, but the rest of Cameron and Matthew Broderick.
The death knell on the relationship.
Why is it Matthew Broderick? Cameron and Ferris are graduating, so this is kind of their last chance to do this, especially because he's been absent 9 times.
9 times.
Well, he hacks in and changes it to 2, so maybe not anymore. And then, so I think this is, I don't know. I think there's a realization too that they think they're going to get married, but they also recognize that this is the end of a chapter. And no one really knows what's going to happen one way or another. What do you think Ferris is going to do? What do you think I'm going to, what are you going to do? They don't know. And anyway, you want to talk about Jeannie? I
do want to talk about Jeannie. I really like Jeannie as a rule follower and someone who wishes my brother would have just calmed down when we were Utes. I like Jeannie. I also love that she is not portrayed as like some stickler, like type A, a teacher's pet, type of student. She just does not like her brother, and that he gets away with breaking the rules where she apparently does not. And I love that Jennifer Grey just does a fantastic job, because I feel like Ferris, this could have easily tilted into, oh, she's just a brat. She's just a really mean girl. There are a few moments where she is talking to Edie McClurg's character and she's being kind of rude and dismissive. And then later she calls her mom's realty office and is rude and dismissive. Do you know anything? And she's just feels like a very well-rounded character. As opposed to like Mia Sara's character, this feels like a really well-rounded female character. I love that she also has an adventure that's going along parallel. She's great. She's absolutely great. Go on.
She has some very funny lines. Not as many, but when she freaks out because Rooney, she doesn't recognize that it's Rooney in her house. There's just a guy in her house, and she, like we mentioned before, kicks him pointedly 3 times in a row in the face and then runs away. So she's freaked out. She's in the room. She's calling the police, and she's like, says something about there's an intruder in my house, possibly armed, definitely weird. And at one point, she's like, I'm very cute, I'm very alone, and I'm very protective of my body. I do not want to violate it or killed. Okay, I need help. She's not a Valley Girl. I said it kind of Valley Girl. She says it. It's very well done. She says a lot of words,
specific, in
a very short amount of time, but does it really well. It's very breathless, but also very charming. Her whole scene with Charlie Sheen in the police station, which is probably charming the most famous with her. Yeah. So he's like a drugged up loser sitting next to her, waiting in the cop waiting room. What do you call that area? The holding area?
No, I don't. It's not a holding area. I feel like that's specific as well.
Specific, yeah.
Where you're actually,
you know where George's father gets in a fight with Elaine and Seinfeld when they're police station.
I do know that.
That's there.
It's tattooed into my brain.
It's probably the same set, honestly. But they're sitting there, and he's just kind of there, and he just goes, drugs, and she's like, no thank you, I'm straight. But anyway, they get to talking, and then my favorite thing is he has actually really good advice, because he's like, except for about the makeup, he says, my sister wears too much makeup and she looks like a whore, which is not cool, don't say that. But also he's like, it sounds like you don't have a problem with your brother, you've got a problem with yourself. like you need to not worry about what happens to your brother. And she's like, thanks for the advice. It's just very good, very charming little back and forth they have. And when they end up, cut away, and they're making out later when the mom comes back out, which is great. And then that whole scene where she's kind of leaving and she's kind of flustered and flushed, charmed by this guy. And she keeps like running into stuff. She has a very Julia Roberts laugh when she like runs into the staircase, and then she gets yelled at by her mom, and she's like, makes an embarrassed face. It's very, very good. That might be, I don't know. I'd be a nominee for a Sally Field Single Scene Award for me.
The Charlie Sheen scene?
Yeah.
Just the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Yeah, I do love about that scene is that this is also a really well shot movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Hold on. I want to get because I did, even in just the first few moments, I remember being surprised by how well done it is. Oh God. Yeah, they don't like telling you who. Tak Fujimoto is the cinematographer here.
Okay.
He also did The Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
And The Sixth Sense, and a little film. Well, he wasn't the cinematographer on it, but he was camera and electrical department on a 1977 science fiction film known as Star Wars Episode 4: New Hope.
While we're getting into the black and white credits, I just want to say Ira Newborn did the music. We know him from Blues Brothers, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Naked Gun, Ace Ventura. Works with John Hughes a lot.
Never leaves Chicago.
Yeah, does a lot with John Hughes too. And I guess to not give him all of the credit, John Hughes apparently handpicked a lot of the like actual songs in this, and but Ira Newborn did all the like instrumental stuff, because obviously Ira Newborn didn't write "Oh Yeah." Everybody knows that was Yellow with no W that did that.
Of course, we all know that.
Please continue.
What were we talking about?
You were talking about how tightly shot it was. We were talking about the scene where Jeannie leaves the station.
When they're in the police, Mrs. Bueller is talking to the police officer who brought Jeannie in. By the way, great job, police, bringing in the girl who calls for help rather than the assailant.
Don't you Congratulations. There's an active assailant, and you brought the person in?
They say.
What is this police work?
So, but while she's talking to the police, you get to see like Jeannie and Charlie Sheen's character, who's later in, if you know about deleted scenes, named Garth Vogel, I believe.
Yeah, I saw something about his backstory, and then there's some deleted, this is like not canon because it wasn't never in any cut of the movie that made it anywhere, but there's some version of it where he and Ferris had been friends like in elementary school or something. And he kind of had a falling out with his parents. And that's part of why he feels like he's got to help Cameron. And I'm like, this is unnecessary. I'm glad they cut this.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, they start making out over the shoulder. If you're paying attention, you see them like start to make out. But there are a lot of great shots in this. I mean, when Rooney is introduced, there's a quick flash to him, adjusting his name plate on his desk and then adjusting all the things on his desk. Like instantaneously, you get a vibe of this guy, small fish in a small pond, but he's going to run that small pond with an iron fist.
Yeah.
There are a lot of great, I mean, the whole art institute, as we've already gushed about, is charming. There's just a lot of fun being had in the cinematography of this movie.
Absolutely. The whole parade scene, like the big kind of set piece of this movie it's wild because they have like full choreographed dances. It kind of comes out of nowhere. It's also very Blues Brothers-esque. Like it's got that same kind of vibe where you're like, the realism doesn't matter because it's not like, it's the least realistic thing. Well, one of the most least realistic things in this whole movie. One of the most least realistic things.
Good job. You're doing great. Keep going.
It's one of the least realistic things in this movie, but it fits the vibe and it's so celebratory and so fun that you're just like, yeah, this is, even if it's just sort of in Ferris's mind, what's happening, it's great.
No, I think, it is sort of a fantasy scenario of like, what would it be like playing with the most awesome day of hooky from school? And so I was grinning this entire movie for the most part. It is very winning. And I was totally on board. Charlie Sheen invented that.
So you gotta say
you're absolutely right. And I just slipped him a dime. He's always sitting just off camera, doesn't like to be on camera. Slipped right off the edge of the desk. Here you go, Carlos.
Want to talk about He Who Shall Not Be Named?
Absolutely.
John Hughes. No.
Rooney, it was very frustrating in that without any knowledge of Jeffrey Jones' crimes, I would have quickly given him the Catherine O'Hara MVP award.
Do you want to go to popcorn before we even bring this up?
Right. We can. Do you have details on this? I haven't pulled it up. I feel like we talked about it when we talked about Beetlejuice, when we also invented the Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP Award.
Yeah. Let's get in there real quick. Problematic corner. Let's go.
Ooh, watch out now, y'all. Let them know about it.
Hit that problematic information, Damon.
All right. Child sexual abuse materials. Jones was arrested in 2002 for possession of child sexual abuse material and soliciting a 14-year-old boy to produce sexually explicit images between 2000 and 2001. Jones photographed the child, paid him to pose nude on multiple occasions wearing a cowboy hat. Okay, I don't need the information.
Why? No.
Wikipedia, too much information sometimes.
Wikipedia.tmi.org. Am I right? Up top.
He eventually pleaded no contest. And his attorney emphasized that there was no allegation of physical contact. And he is required to register as a sex offender for life.
They cast him in Deadwood after this. So
you hate to hear it, but hey, people just kept hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein too. Jones was also arrested twice for failing to update his sex offender status. And then he became the subject of community complaint during production of Who's Your Caddy? Upon learning of his involvement, locals insisted the public should not have been. Well, other than that, so it doesn't sound like he is repeated the offense, but important to know. I still don't want to give him the Catherine O'Hara Award.
Yeah.
Now you know why they blew his head off during Beetlejuice.
And this is like there's nothing to say.
Thank you for standing up against child sex abuse.
Yeah.
I knew you were a good guy.
I'm against it, is what I'm saying.
I ain't for it, I'm against it.
Yeah.
So he's a prick. Unfortunately, he gives a very good performance in this movie. I will say, I did think about when we watched Naked Gun, which also has a very problematic lead in O.J. Simpson. Yeah. There was a catharsis in, just like in Naked Gun, Rooney's character gets the shit beaten out of him, and it's kind of enjoyable to watch with this information on hand. So there's that.
Yeah.
In earlier years, I would have been sympathetic to Rooney because, much like Jeannie, I just don't like when people break the rules and get away with it just because they're charming and charismatic. I'm neither of those things, and I don't get to break the rules. So that's frustrating. So he does a great job. My favorite moment with Rooney in this is when he's running down the hall.
Stopping
and he stops because if you remember schoolhouse doors, like when was I raised? With a slate and a piece of chalk? But school doors, they have that little sliver of a window. Yeah. So he's running down the hall, and every time he passes a door, he stops so he can walk calmly, and then he starts running again.
And you hear the squeaking of his shoes the whole time.
Absolutely amazing.
Dude, it's a tour de force, this performance. I mean, we can say it because we're in the problematic corner right now, so I can let loose. It's really good. The whole scene with him and Grace in the office when they're on the phone, and they're sort of motioning to each other. Like he's on the phone, and he's like pointing, and she's like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you want?" He's trying to tell her to get, when he realizes that it's quote unquote actually Sloane's dad on the phone, and he's freaking out. He keeps pointing, and she's like, "What? I have no idea what you're saying." And then eventually he's like, "Get here!" And at one point when he's screaming, he's like, "Grace!" Like he's trying to scream her name. Oh, and like you said,
whisper scream,
immediately pulling little bits off of everything as he's talking on the phone. He's just sort of fastidious in every way. The credit scene where he is getting on the bus, he's just had the worst day ever. He's bruised and bloodied and is, lost covered half a leg to the his shoes are covered in mud and whatever. And he has to get on the school bus and ride it back to where his car is parked at the school.
Which at this point, by the way, I just want to point out,
it's 6 p.m.
It's 6 p.m.
Yeah, that is a little inconsistent. Maybe they're
I enjoy it as much. I love it. And the bus driver gave me very strong Cecily Strong vibes. Don't say very strong Cecily Strong. Although I don't know how strong she is. So maybe she is very strong Cecily Strong.
True.
I will say the one line that has stuck in the old Xantho's mind over the years is, "They've been in my pocket, so they're warm and squishy." When the girl he sits next to, who is... She seems like a great girl. But she's a little, got thick Coke bottle glasses. She seems a little, sort of hunched in on herself, but still eager to talk, which is a type of kid you encounter in high school. And she gives Rooney her warm gummy bears that have been in her pocket all day.
And he flicks it very like a booger. And there's that scene back to like the original scene with him and Grace in the office, and when he thinks that the voice on the phone is Ferris, it's not, it's actually Cameron, but he goes, "I'll tell you what, dipshit," and then he points at the phone to Grace, and at this point Grace has Ferris on the other line, so it's so good.
It's a fantastic scene.
It's good. Okay, while we're still in the problematic corner,
oh no, there's more.
I mean, we probably have to acknowledge the car accident that Jennifer Grey and Matthew Broderick ran, and they
Jennifer Grey was also in the car?
Yes, and they killed a mother and her daughter, and it was reckless driving, I don't think it was under the influence or manslaughter or anything, but pretty messed up. And just one of those things that gets brought up kind of callously sometimes, but that's pretty fucked up. I'm sure it was awful for them as well, but also that's pretty shitty.
Was it during the shooting of this, I'm assuming then?
It was like a year after it came out, so it was like 87, but they had been dating after they met on this movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. Brother and sister always weirds me out when people who play brother and sister.
Don't care for that. The little Dexter
I know
situation.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Isn't there?
But it still just gives me the willies, because I know you as brother and sister. Oh, one thing we can leave the problematic corner now, right?
I just want to talk about Ben Stein being a Republican.
Not only a Republican, like he is like brain cooked Republican. Yeah. Like he has gone from like Nixonian Republican, which isn't a great place to start.
Nope.
And gone like full on not only should the free market guide the market, the free market should guide ideas as well. And so if a lot of people believe that evolution is a hoax, then there's some validity to that argument and we need to entertain it. Just a fucking dipshit. Although I will say, Ben Stein apparently improvised that entire speech on tariffs.
Again.
What is it? The snoot? Shoot? I should know this. Because it's been brought up recently with our own charming man's, to reference the Smiths, president's tariff love. Snoot?
Yeah, he has an amazing whole thing. And
Smoot Hawley tariffs, sorry.
Smoot Hawley, yeah, okay.
I know people come here for the history.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. Well, and so I can compliment his performance a little bit more. We'll stay in the problematic corner for a second because it is great. Everybody says, Bueller, but the rest of it, which doesn't get as much quoting because it's literally just an economic lecture.
Mm-hmm. Anyone raised?
He does this thing that I had a teacher who I loved, Mr. Cross, who would do this. In the writ of habeas, that's right, corpus. And when I was
asking, but not really
asking, and I remember we were kind of making fun of him, and he was like, "Yeah, I say this all the time. I go home and I say to my wife, who is another teacher there, so he was being facetious, and he goes." Woman, I want some spaghetti. Yes, thank you very much. That's pretty good. He's a funny guy. All right, let's get out of the corn. John Hughes is a Republican too. Fuck him. Okay, let's get out of here.
Oh, really?
We're not just going to say bad things about all Republicans, are we? Let's get out of here.
Ooh, watch out now, y'all.
Okay, thank you, Jackson, for their lovely theme song. While we're giving kudos to Jeffrey Jones in the office scene, we have to give kudos to Grace, played by Edie McClurg, your favorite. Is she your
She's
favorite?
my real righteous dude.
He's a real righteous dude. Like that. You look like
overdosing
Dirty Harry.
on
And then he goes, really? I really like that.
Love it. She's fantastic in this. She really just laying on the Midwestern real thick.
Immediately, the pencil thing in her hair. She's like,
she pulls out one pencil to write something, and then she realizes she has two more in her hair. She has a big, like, sort of bouffant, almost like a Far Side character hair. And she's great. I love when Jennifer, I love the moaning. I love when Jennifer Grey comes, and she's just real snippy with Edie McClurg. And when Jennifer Grey leaves, she's like, well, she's a real asshole or something. She calls her an asshole, which I love. I love it when Edie McClurg cusses. I mean, two of her most famous roles.
Yeah,
got her cursing.
What is it? She's a real asshole. It's great. I don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I don't have much else. She sort of disappears in the latter half of the movie once Jeffrey Jones goes off campus. But man, I did want to bring up one thing about Jeffrey Jones. This isn't that important, but he goes to a pizzeria to try and find Ferris. And it gave real strong vibes of when Principal Skinner goes to the 4-H club trying to find Bart. And he's like, there's no students at the 4-H club either. Am I so out of touch? No.
It's the children who are wrong. Man.
I wrote that down as a quote from the movie, by the way. That's Principal Skinner line.
As if it were from this. I also forgot a Jeffrey Jones quote. Now I'll get into a quote roundup too, because there are a lot in this, but when he's consoling Sloane when her grandmother dies, he recites a speech, which I presume is wrong, but I don't know the quote well enough. But at one point he goes, I had a grandmother once, and then sort of realizing that it's stupid, he goes like, two, actually. He's like, you can see like the sort of self-recognition. Oh, God. It's very good.
Very good. I also want to mention, because we didn't bring this up about Ben Stein, and by we, I mean I, surprisingly a heavy class when he's doing roll.
Yeah. Yeah. They just had to lead up to Bueller.
I know.
Adderson, Adley. While we're on the teachers, there's another teacher who's very boring. I think this is the one that Sloane...
Sloane's English teacher, I think, played by Del Close, who's a comedian.
Really? Yeah, he's the improv guy. He's like the head of Second City.
Let me double check that I am correct, which I always am. Yes, tell close.
Okay, that makes it.
Yeah, direct precursor of the Second City was the St. Louis branch of the Compass Players, and then went on to Chicago.
That's great. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, but that also explains why it's so funny, because he just goes, in what way does the author's use of, it's like the slowest possible way, the prison symbolized, and you can tell, like, you just keep cutting to the kids' faces, and they're just, what is happening right now? What are you doing?
Sorry, I was trying to tell Tyler just came down from reading his book, and I was asking him to close the door again.
You know, this is a video podcast.
I know. I was trying to do it normal, but like, look, you can barely tell anything's different.
You can barely tell that I'm doing anything. Okay.
It's fun.
It keeps cutting to the kids' faces too, and they're just dying of boredom. I see that as like
super zoomed in.
It's so great. I love it. Between that and Ben Stein droning on about the tariffs, it's
Did you talk about him drawing bars on the word prison?
Yes.
Jesus. And he doesn't finish that one bar, and he goes back to it, and it's all right. As an artist, it bothered me.
You got to finish the bars, bro.
You got to finish the bars.
Is there any other characters that you want to talk about? There's the maitre d', snooty maitre d'.
Snooty maitre d'. You don't see maitre d's like that anymore. I remember seeing them a lot in cartoons. Animaniacs probably would have harassed a maitre d' like that. But he was ludicrously snooty.
Snooty. He also looks like Rooney. He looks like Jeffrey Jones.
He looks like a young Rooney.
Yeah.
That was fine. I'm trying to think if there.
Ferris's indignance is the best part of that, where he's like, "Oh, you don't think I?" It's so good.
Oh, we also have our garage guys.
Oh, yeah. They
steal the Ferrari.
Yep.
And take it for a joyride while our trio are enjoying the sights of the Second City.
The best part of that is when they're coming back towards the end, and we get cut to them coming overhead to the Star Wars.
Absolutely great.
As they're just flying through the air. It's very good.
Oh, who else is left to comment?
Christy Swanson makes an appearance.
She played one of the students.
I really like her line too. So she's in Ferris's class, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, I think she like gives this overly long explanation of where he is, and then Ben Stein's like, "Thank you," and then she's like, "No problem whatsoever." I just really love that. It's
just a woman who will never have any problems in life. Yeah, she says that she had seen Ferris Ralphing at 31 Flavors.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I don't have much else. I did enjoy when Jeannie gets back home with her mom at the climax of the movie. You know, mom and dad are talking outside, and mom's like, I had to pick her up at a police station. And the dad goes, who has not really had that much of a personality, goes, I think we should shoot her.
Yeah.
I do love that whole climax. I love the minute he started running home, the music started playing in my head before it started playing. I like because I've seen much like many movies on cable. I've seen the last third of this movie 634
which
times.
I think is the worst third of the movie. I enjoy it.
Absolutely. The front half is very charming.
They had to get too much plot done, towards the end and the running. Well, I do very much enjoy it.
Why would he want the day off? We need to establish that.
Yeah, where is he taking off to? When he's running through the yard, and then there's the two ladies sunbathing, and he comes back and he's, "Hi, Ferris Bueller." That's
another sign that he and Mia Sarah are not going to last 1 year apart in college.
And then he runs through the house. Dinner's ready. He smells good. And then he goes outside. Delicious. He's like, "Dinner's ready." Yeah, it's so good.
Don't get up.
Yeah.
It's the one time he almost faced a consequence. That man going, hey.
I could see if I were, how Jeannie would, be like, this fucking guy just gets away. This reminds me, the way that Ferris goes through life reminds me of a dear friend. My friend, one of my best friends in junior high and high school, I feel like had a similar thing. And I was never so much, I was just like, oh, he's not following all the rules. So I wasn't like mad because he was my friend, but if it was my brother, I'd be like, he gets away with fucking everything. I could see getting upset.
One of the interesting, I meant to bring this up, but one of the interesting things about Jeannie is like in my brain parts, I had remembered her being his older sibling.
She has,
which cannot be possible because she is going to high school and he is a senior. So she must be his younger sibling, but she gives such older sister energy of like, why are you babying him? Why do you believe everything he says? I didn't get to do this. Why are you letting him get away with it? But she is not. In fact, she cannot statistically, unless they are twins, then it never goes remarked upon.
Yeah.
Or they're so close in age that they share a grade in school. That doesn't sound right.
It definitely reads like she's an older sister too, because she's got the car and he doesn't. And but I don't think it matters. But she has to.
It doesn't. It's not like a breaking point. I just like in my brain, she just gives off such older sibling energy.
And she hates me like my sister hated me in school the same way. All right, well, I'm just going to go on. Well, we forgot to mention Louis Anderson, star turn with 0 lines in this.
The star turn and 0 line. Oh my God. I did notice for the first time in this watching the flowers accumulating in the hallway.
Amazing.
I mean, it is a running gag that you're seeing Save Ferris throughout. Even on Wrigley Field, there is a sign that says Save Ferris. He's so popular that all of the Chicago metropolitan area is
the cops
rallying to him. The cops are concerned. The faculty, I love when Rooney receives the flowers from Louis Anderson, and he looks inside and it says, it's a note from the faculty of the school he is the principal of.
No, so that was a different guy. That Louis Anderson is with the strippergram or something. She has like a dirty limerick, and he's like standing right there.
Are Louis Anderson?
Are they really?
Yeah. Louis Anderson was supposed to have an interaction with Rooney. I think it's just a deleted scene.
Okay. That's weird that they're both Louis Anderson because it's clearly 2 different companies.
Think about it like if people were ordering flowers and sending it, you do it through 1-800-Flowers or whatever, they just call a local florist and say, give them the old get well soon, 75
give them the nurse with the dirty limerick. Go.
Oh, yeah. She's the nurse who likes to fuck.
Yeah. I didn't understand. I'm like, who sent that? And then I was like, I guess a kid could have sent that.
Yeah. I mean, a horny teenager sent that to him, which made sense. But did you catch the weirdest part was not the sexy nurse, the man in the pink mask? Did you see that?
No, because I was busy looking at Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson, nurse. Oh, between their shoulders is a man in a nightmare mask. It's a giant, like, oversized helmet style mask that sits on top of his head. Horrific.
Let's see if we can.
And then there's just a guy who's just wearing a pith helmet and a Hawaiian shirt, and he's just holding a bunch of balloons.
Oh, yeah. What? What is that?
That's my nominee for the Catherine O'Hara MVP award.
What in the crap is that?
Haunting.
That is haunting. Okay. Well.
All right. Give me a rundown.
Okay. These are just quotes. When Ferris Bueller's faking being sick, he pretending to want to go to school. I want to go to a good college so I can have a fruitful life. And then,
Ferris, I don't think you got anything to worry about.
You'll be fine.
Based on the size of these houses.
Cameron being dramatic when Ferris is trying to talk him into going out, and he's like, you have your health. Be thankful. It's very good. Talking about his mom, Cameron says, she's in Decatur. Unfortunately, she's not staying. Jesus. And then one that I've used a lot when Ferris is pretending to play, or he's playing, but not well, the clarinet, and he just goes, never had one lesson. It's very good. Apparently improvised by Matthew Broderick. Very good. The random freshman that gets to talk to Ferris on the phone. First of all, that whole conversation is great because they're like using curse words in weird freshman ways. It's so well done. They're like, God damn. They say it in a way where it's like that you can tell they're like looking around after they say a curse word. But then they put a girl on the phone, like one of their classmates, and she's like, "Hey Ferris, how's your bod?" It's great.
And then she asks him, "Do you think you'll be alive by the weekend?" And he says, "Yeah,
it'll be good." And then Cameron, still pretending to be sick or still acting sick, goes, "Do you know what my diastolic is?" Good. He also psyching himself up later. Something I've done before. I'll go. He just keeps saying it.
That whole scene is a fantastic scene by Alan Ruck. Just him in the car, and then later he throws his keys out. Then he goes outside to get them, and then you sort of see him pacing around the car, still out of focus now because we're just pointed at the driver's seat the entire time. Just a well shot film.
And then Paris is now driving away. Ferris, not Paris. Ferris is now driving away, and
Paris, who started the Trojan War.
Yes, right.
The Ferris Bueller of his day.
Then, sorry, I was trying to come up with something else, then I lost my train of thought. He's trying to talk him into getting a limo, and he's like, "A nice stretch shot with a TV and a bar." Like, just the way he says it is really goofy. Another funny voice from Alan Ruck. When they come to pick Sloan up, and Ferris is in like the goofiest, like a trench coat and like
almost like Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
who he
totally
later plays years later.
Do you think that's why? Do you think they were like, I already saw you wear this?
Get me Matthew Broderick. I know he can play the role.
And then she goes, "I guess that's my dad." It's very good.
See, it has two meanings.
And then my favorite from the end credits, when the goofy girl that you were talking about before that gives Rooney the gummy bear says, "I bet you never smelled a real school bus before." So upsetting.
She also, I want to say about that actress, she wipes her nose like a freshman in high school. Just full length of the arm, like Gomez Adams kissing Morticia's arm, just from fingertip to elbow. Absolutely revolting.
Ready to go to the verdict?
Yeah.
Let's take the school bus. There are no seatbelts. That cannot be safe.
I never understood.
That is insane.
It's insane.
I don't have kids, but aren't they our most precious cargo? Isn't that?
There's more of those made every day. We got more where that came from.
Wow.
It's insane.
They got those soft bones. They'll be fine. Damon, what is your verdict?
Your Inner Child is not an idiot. This is a very enjoyable show. I've already gushed about John Hughes' ability. I'm 1,000 years old.
It's a good show.
It's a good show. We went and they had the Matthew Broderick and he was going around. And this must have been after they rebuilt from Mrs. O'Leary's cow, because I didn't see any wood buildings in Chicago.
I didn't see it. He didn't see it there.
Oh, but he had a good time. Had the Cubbies. They still in the World Series?
Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Nice pull. Very good.
Thank you.
Chicago history.
This is a very fun movie. I've already gushed about John Hughes' ability to sort of get into the teenage psyche. It's a very much of a wish fulfillment movie. I think I was reading some, of the like concurrent reviews before the show.
Dug into the archives, get the microfiche out.
Yeah. Scrolling like Clarice Starling with a pencil in my mouth. I think that's the second time I've referenced that in like the last 3 episodes. But, Roger Ebert loved it. Gene Siskel didn't, but Roger Ebert got angry at him because he's like, "You're just being pedantic about how Chicago is being portrayed. Shut up." I love that they hated each other. Some people, I know one guy from like New York Magazine, like was sort of criticizing it as like the greed of Reaganism. And I really think, I understand how you could maybe make that perception. I really feel like that's a misread of the movie. Yes, these are very rich kids, and they will, for their entire life, never be in the same zip code as a consequence. They will, like, you can almost imagine, like, Ferris Bueller in the 90s getting arrested for insider trading and beating the rap while Martha Stewart goes to jail.
if this Ferris Bueller for sure got into finance.
Absolutely. Sure. His dad got him a position at the firm.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but I really feel like what I like about this movie is that the relationship between him and Cam is so heartwarming. And I feel like it's rare, especially in an 80s movie, to see two men just really be clear that they love each other in a platonic way. And I find it very charming. And the fact that Ferris is secretly doing all this for Cam to sort of give Cam a chance to grow a backbone in possibly the worst, tough love way possible. Yeah. I don't know if the American psychiatric community would sign off on this, but I just think you can really tell that these two men love each other. So yeah, I think this is a really fun, charming movie, immensely rewatchable. And I really do love that version of Twist and Shout, despite Paul McCartney's complaints about brass being added to it.
Shut up.
John Hughes was like, I understand, but like, there's all these brass instruments around, so it'll be weird if they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm with John Hughes on this one. Normally, I don't say that when we're talking.
I do also love that all those Fraulines go like ape shit around Ferris, and they're just like twisting and shaking their lederhosen around.
It kind of made sense that he's singing Donkashane, and then they go into Twist and Shout, and they're like, yeah, fuck it.
Also, I love that everyone is singing Donkashane in Shermer, Ohio. Yeah. Rooney sings it at one point. Jeannie sings it at one point. And of course, Ferris sings it a few times.
In Ohio? Is that what you said?
Shermer, Ohio. Or Shermer, Illinois, sorry.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's where we're at. Famously, Illinois, Damon. Famously.
Reportedly, Matthew Broderick started singing it in the shower, just improvising because he was practicing for the parade scene later, and then they just thought it was charming, so they just kept it. It was good.
Makes sense. Ties it in. Foreshadowing, we call it, in the biz.
I couldn't disagree less. This movie is... Not only is I thought that I would enjoy it. I've seen it recently enough that I was like, I think I'm still going to like this. I don't remember anything that's like, oh, I don't remember how that goes. You kind of know every beat of this movie if you've seen it as many times as I have. But what I was surprised by was how laugh out loud funny it is. Just throughout most of the movie. And as I mentioned, the third act gets a little bit, it's not that the third act drags or anything. It's just like, it's not as funny, but it doesn't need to be. It's kind of driving the point home with the characters a little bit, plus the action of him getting home properly, the whole thing with Cameron and his dad and the whole thing. It's like, it needs a little weight, but it's not as funny. That's fine. But I think that we kind of bring it home with the it's a movie and it's a 3-act structure. But the chasing I do think is very funny. So it kind of brings it home between that and the Charlie Sheen and Jeannie scene. It's great.
Well, I should mention also Charlie Sheen, also very hot and for different reasons than Matthew Broderick, but sexy as fuck. Chic. And the pink, either realistic pink or the eyeliner that they put on him to make him look sort of stoned. Mwah, love a druggy eye, as I've said to many people in my life.
I feel like it's a popular anecdote to be like, Charlie Sheen stayed up for 48 hours to achieve that. And I'm like, okay.
Didn't he attest to that in his... I haven't watched this documentary, unfortunately. But it's also in this recent documentary, doesn't he say that is true?
I believe it, but I'm also like, couldn't you just act tired?
Right. Right.
I'm sure there was makeup applied also to your
like Jeff Bridges in Big Lebowski, he would always ask before the scene, he's like, did the dude blaze one before this? And then he would just rub his eyes.
Yeah.
You just act.
You just use acting. Anyway.
I take the information in the script and I pretend that's what happened to me.
But yeah, this movie is great. In fact, I think in the rare circumstance that happens on this podcast, I think it's moving up in my estimation, in my memory, into
is it that
more
rare,
favorite. Though? I don't know.
These days, when we're just like, what if we watch this good movie? No, it is. I love it a lot more, especially as an adult. I don't get as many days off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want what about Damon's day off?
I have a week off that I have taken, and I am going to do absolutely nothing.
Amazing.
I told Tyler I'm not doing any house projects. I'm not going anywhere. We're not doing anything.
Okay. That sounds
fun. That's my type of vacation.
Yeah. Okay. I want to nominate.
Oh, yeah. The thing we're doing.
Yes. For our Catherine O'Hara award. So MVP award. Alan Ruck.
Okay.
Or Edie McClurg.
Okay.
I would support either of them. I secretly is Jeffrey Jones, but I cannot endorse Jeffrey Jones.
I can't do it. We're like Cooperstown over here. We can't.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I'd have to put a big ass asterisk.
You
right
broke
next
the
to
rules, and the rules were child porn. Gross. Don't do that.
We don't have many rules.
It's a pretty lax podcast, honestly.
I feel like I really like Alan Ruck's performance. I really like Jennifer Grey's performance, but I will give it to Alan Ruck.
Okay.
But they're both fantastic in this. Yeah. Everyone is fantastic in this. Scene? I want to give it to the Art Institute of Chicago.
I do too.
I got teared up, and I still don't know why, but it was just a beautiful scene, and I feel like it really just stands out in the movie.
Counterpoint, The Office with Edie McClurg and Jeffrey Jones, going back, this could be our backdoor way of acknowledging. And so that I'm giving that as a counterpoint to my nomination. So I can be overruled here, but that just made me laugh so much, just cackling.
It is a great scene. I can't do it for the same reason. But it's Edie
McClurg, but you're right.
I know.
It's at least...
She deserves her flowers, and I will give her some.
It's at least 60% Jeffrey Jones leading that scene, though. So, okay. All right. Fair enough. I really like the art scene, too, and it's so good, and so it's weirdly moving, and yeah, it's so great.
Oh, this pen's going out of ink.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Let me get Art Institute.
Do you want to address that? Do you want to talk about that? You want to unpack that a little bit?
I love these pens. Okay. These are, they're zebra pens.
Okay. So,
no. And they run out, but the problem with them is they write really smoothly. Like no breaks at all. In fact, when they do break, break a line, I mean, that's it. And it's really frustrating because I feel like they run out of ink really quickly. And it's
because they're using so much ink. That's why there's no breaks.
Look at this. Down. You ever seen a pen that empty?
No,
my friend.
Never in my fucking life.
How those lines flow in the zebra. We've never had anyone sponsor this podcast for reasons that I still don't know.
This is what it's like talking to
possibly because we only have a dozen listeners, but Zebra, I love your pens. Just put more ink in them.
But
if you sponsor the podcast, I will take out everything I said about putting more ink in them, and I'll just blindly advertise them.
We'll retcon we'll go back and re-edit the episode.
Zeebs.
This is seriously what it's like talking to my parents these days. You're like, okay, Oh, we were going into detail on this story. Okay. What do you think, everybody? Tell us what you think about Ferris Bueller's Day Off and our take on it. You're in a child's idiot at gmail.com. You can text us or leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. If you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/Your Inner Child's an Idiot. We want to thank our current patrons, including
Lindsay Halik.
Okay. Larissa Maestro.
Tommy Boy's my favorite movie.
Jackson.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
The supreme ruler of this podcast and all economic forces moving forward.
The hands of fate.
Little Miss Chicken Nugget. I imagine he's very erudite.
Right, and mine's just like some backwoods
backwater economist.
Bill Haynes.
Holiday classic jingle all the way.
Shit on the Cartouche.
Caroline Amberson.
Jeremy Powlen.
Jonathon Day.
Elusive Fame Gromkin.
Karen Code.
The Zesty.
It had the cadence of a joke.
His Honor the Mayor.
It's
always the same. It's always just like, it's just AI at this point.
Don't cut over T. Smith. T. Smith.
Dr. Malcolm's, Heaving Bosom.
Lindsay Nell.
Beth Surmont.
Zachary Hartley.
Particle Man.
Dramatically placed hot dog.
Travis Vance.
Josh Frigo.
Stu-StusStuartJ.
Tippi von Cheaterly. Thank you all very much for enjoying our snoot and
what? Holly? No one said they enjoyed it. We have no evidence that they enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
They loved it.
They liked it. Watch us lose patrons.
He can it. Swing better. Swing better.
Gene Siskel also hated that they were in such terrible seats for the game. And then Ebert was like, they came in at the third inning. Those would be the seats they have.
They paid a Finsky, as Ferris would say, for that. I guarantee they paid $5 and at the door. And the game was probably underway because it was 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm. One of those Tuesday games.
Fucking Siskel. I will do nothing because you're already dead.
Thank you for standing up for yourself.
Okay, bye.